Hello everyone, today is Thursday, December the 19th, yes, 6 days before Christmas, and I wanted to take a little bit of time today and do a video of where I am in my recovery of my completely ruptured patellar tendon on my right leg, and as well at the same time I fractured my right wrist. So after having spent some time today speaking to a couple of other gentlemen, athletes out there, respectively, that ruptured theirs at about the same point in time, I felt motivated to get back on my feet and to do a video of where I am now. So I hope you enjoy the video. Please subscribe to my channel, by the way. Carla and I, my wife, we plan to get right back into our tennis videos, beginning with the preseason tennis here in a couple of weeks. So anyway, hopefully you enjoy this update video of your patellar tendon, and please remember, if you have gone through this injury, to please let me know if you're seeing these videos, and I will do my best to communicate with you of how it unfolded for me and how I got to this point in time here now 6 weeks after the injury. Hopefully you enjoy. Alright, so to start this video, what I wanted to do is just to spend a brief moment on telling you how I ruptured my patellar tendon in the first place. Just a little while ago, I was speaking to a fine gentleman by the name of Leslie Vincent, and as well another gentleman, Justin Briney, respectively, who have been through this injury about the same point in time that I went through it. Just so everybody knows what the patellar tendon is. It is a major tendon that runs to the bottom of the leg, or the lower part of the leg, which is the tibia. So we have the leg. Let's just say this is the leg, this is the quadricep, this is the knee, and this is the lower part of the leg, and this is the foot. So the knee joint, the leg bends, such as this, all right? So the patellar tendon actually goes from the upper part of the leg, where the femur is and the quadricep is, and holds the patella, the kneecap, into place and attaches it to the lower part of our leg. So when we rupture our patellar tendon, the patellar tendon is torn off of the tibia. The leg, the lower part of the leg basically is incapacitated. It's no longer useful, and the leg just wants to dangle. So without the patellar tendon, the leg will not lift, it will not move, which leads the quadricep, which that muscle is built upon the lifting of the lower part of the leg. So without the patellar tendon, our quadricep goes into what's called atrophy. Atrophy is the weakening or the loss of muscle in this context. So when you rupture your patellar tendon, not only can you not use the lower part of your leg, lift it, stand on it, anything, stabilize the leg, stabilize the knee, but when the quadricep is unattached from the lower part of the leg, the muscle basically wants to disintegrate. So that's what happened here to myself, to Leslie, and to Justin, respectively. So if you're following these videos, that's what occurred. For me, it happened playing tennis, and we'll get into that shortly. Now, how in the world does that happen playing tennis? Real quickly, I was playing a match with a former pro player, and again, at 42 years old with 5 kids, I can't say that day in and day out I am in the weight room, I am training, and I am keeping my body where it was when I was in my 20s, but I do my best. Fast forward, I was in the middle of a match, and actually it was a match point. So I was 1 point away from just shaking hands at the net and walking off the court. However, it was a match point against me, so I was 1 point away from losing. And I told myself in my head that I was going to receive serve. I was receiving serve. In other words, my opponent was serving to me. That I was going to receive serve, and I was going to go after the return, and I was going to charge the net after the return. So picture this. So the ball comes into my court. Boom. So I step in. It was a perfect sitter forehand. In other words, a shot on my right-hand side that I felt like I could really step into and really take with authority. And that shot happened for me. So it was a picture-perfect setup. So the ball came in, I was receiving serve on the deuce court, my right side. The ball came into play, it came across me, it was a sitter shot, I came in, smoked it, boom. Felt really good about it, so I became aggressive. I put my opponent on, it was a her, by the way, it was a girl. No offense, but nonetheless, I hit a very nice shot, boom, deep onto her forehand side, and I ran her from right to left, which put me in a great offensive position. So I hit the shot, I charged to the net, and while I was charging to the net, she coughed up a lob. She hit a lob, and she just struck it perfectly on a defensive shot. So I'm charging to the net, and I see this ball go start to go in the trajectory that it would go over my head if I did not run and jump and leap to hit it. So the ball's coming at me, and I knew if I didn't charge to the net and get in the air quick enough before it got over my head, then I would lose no matter what, and there's people watching, and you know how that goes when you're playing a girl and you're a guy. So anyway, I charged to the net, I jumped up in the air, it went over my head, I swung as hard as I could. Wow! Swung and missed, and because I met no balancing force in the air, I didn't hit, and to stabilize me, I hit, swung and missed, and I got all squirrely in the air, whoa, and I looked down, and I realized I was like in dunking height of dunking a basketball back in the day, Leslie Vincent. I know Leslie Vincent knows what I'm talking about. So I was up there, whoosh, swung and missed. I looked down, I put my right leg down, and snap went the leg, and then I tried to catch myself on the ground, and snap went my wrist, and then blam, I was on the ground. And here we are 6 weeks post that, trying to get back into shape. Let's go! Let's get down! Let's get ready to fight! Let's go! Come on! Alright, so I came upstairs so I would get a better camera view. I'm doing a solo video. My wife's out teaching tennis, and all my kids are either on the tennis court or at school still. Last day of school before Christmas break. So I came upstairs so I have a better view on some of my leg, I guess you could say exercises and where I am. But I wanted to take a moment and speak briefly, as I thought coming upstairs, about support going through this type of injury. I'm stuttering in a sense because this means a lot to me, this part. I have 5 children and am married to a wonderful wife who has been the mother of those children nonstop 24/7 since day millisecond 1. But when this injury happened, again, I'm a tennis coach, and we coach at high levels, and my wife and I started building our coaching business here in a wonderful place in southern Alabama, Dauphin Island, and we love it. Lo and behold, to have this injury go down during really an ego-type match that I shouldn't have been playing in the first place, and all of a sudden life changes. There's been a few things in my life besides my own mother that I have seen at this level of support, and the blessed that I was the one receiving the support. So number one, when this injury happened, the whole community that I live in, which is very small, average life or average year-round population is around 800 to 1,000. There's more population than that, but most are vacationers' homes, etc. But the entire community came forth to myself, to my wife, and to our children, from the church to students that we teach, to make sure that we had whatever we needed to push forward as human beings with a large family with children, from the ages of about to go to college to the ages of 3, well, just turned 4. So number one, the community was incredibly important. So what a shout out to the game of tennis, because we started teaching here, the entire community, we have been blessed enough to know it one way, shape, or form, either the parents or the children and everyone in between. Second of all, Carlo, my wife, is a supporter. When this first happened, I couldn't use the restroom, and I don't want to be explicit, but I couldn't use the restroom. Can I say it any clearer than that? I couldn't use the restroom. I had a broken right wrist, so I couldn't use the restroom. I don't know how to say that without having a video flag, but I couldn't use the restroom. I couldn't shower. Again, I just had the cast injury update on my right wrist. If you've been following these videos, my right wrist was shattered when I went up and hit the ball and missed. Boom, and I fell off balance and I fell onto the ground. My leg snapped and I landed on my wrist. And this is really big time news for me. This is my playing hand. Let's get down. And this is my playing hand that just had a cast removed 2 days ago. It's very sore when I push it this way. So on my left wrist, I'm like, boom, boom. On this wrist, it's like, but I'm still, what's up? I'm getting close. This way, not too bad, but this way I can flop over. That's all right, though. We'll get back there. But the deal is the leg. So back to the support. But Carla did everything for me. Okay, well, Carla's an athlete, yes, but she's a girl, the same person I was playing when this happened in the first place. What has motivated me to get back to this point from an in the locker room perspective has been Justin Briney in Iowa, who had this injury just after me. He does like powerlifting, America's Strongest Man type thing, like what's getting down. Love the energy. And just today, another motivating factor. I was going to stop doing these update videos in the first place. And I'm not a Detroit Tigers fan. I just forgot my hat on the way upstairs, and because of my leg, I didn't want to go back downstairs, so I just grabbed a hat off of my bed, and it happened to be this one. Anyway, I got too many grays in here. It's the Widow's Peak. So I have to put the hat on. Not bad for 42, though. But Leslie Vincent, Mississippi State guy, basketball player, boom, young man at heart, gave me some motivation to get back in front of the camera today. So support is everything. Community, family. If you have a torn patellar tendon and someone tells you, by the way, oh, I tore my ACL, no disrespect to that injury, that's a tough injury, but if you have ruptured your patellar tendon and you try to compare it to an ACL surgery or an LCL surgery or an MCL surgery or a meniscus surgery, it's not close. It's life-changing. It's life-changing, it's life-changing, it's life-changing. My quadricep on my right leg is a spaghetti noodle. A complete spaghetti noodles, okay? So what I'm going to try to do is put this together without as many fragments as possible and show you where I'm at. Support is everything. Thank you to my wife. Thank you to Leslie Vincent. Thank you to Justin Briney, especially, that has been grinding this out on his couch with footnotes, doing leg lifts, which has been amazing. But biggest shots out to my wife that has done everything from getting down and dirty in the bathroom, showering. Again, I had a broken right wrist. This had a colorful cast on it not long ago. So, fragmented segments on where I am now with my leg. I lost my train of thought, but here we go. All right, so let's see what happens. All right, so when you rupture your patellar tendon, the patellar tendon, this is the quadricep tendon, this is the patella, and this is your patellar tendon that runs down the upper or the top part of your lower leg, your tibia, and allows your leg to be lifted up this way. Without your patellar tendon attached down here, your leg does not lift. Hey, Mr. Leg, lift up, lift up. Oh, but it won't. There is no response, nothing. When you don't have the patellar tendon, the lower leg does not work. And you can't put weight on it when your kneecap is in your thigh. So when I went down with this injury, my patellar tendon was severed from my tibia. The tension on the quadricep tendon and the patella pulls the kneecap into your thigh area. So when I went down with this injury, I knew I had an issue when my kneecap was in my thigh area and I couldn't move my lower leg. So just remember that. But when I first came out of surgery, this brace was locked in a completely immobilized position. So straight out. Okay, straight out. Until not terribly long ago, I could hardly move my leg down at all. I went to physical therapy last Thursday, and they unlocked my brace for the first time. So until last Thursday, outside of physical therapy, I didn't move my leg really whatsoever. So now, that's a pretty big deal for me, and I'm sorry about my video quality, but those that are going through this injury, you won't care. Now, I'm self-conscious about doing this because this part of my quadricep is like a spaghetti noodle. This is very thin. It looks like something that you would see if you were watching a video about someone with nutrition deficiencies. My quadricep is like a noodle. The interior aspect of my quadricep, this is my right leg. Again, I broke my right wrist at the same time. It's great to be free. Let's get down. But the inside of my quadricep has been completely atrophied. And I know that A couple of you out there, Justin Briney and Leslie Vincent, have shared the same. That I think it's the latissimus dissimus and medialis or something. That's funny that I just even tried to say the name of that. But this part of my quadricep is basically null and void at this point. So I want to bring this back on board no matter what. Stability in the knee joint is everything with that. So yes, I can bend my leg to 90 and even further, honestly, probably 95 here, close to 100, and I can do leg lifts. Oh, that's a little pop there in the knee. You know, not devastating, but a little pop there in the knee. So this is about where I am now with flexion on the knee. And it wasn't a bad knee pop. It just, there's some swelling still, and it just felt like, you know, some scar tissue moving around. It wasn't like that. But I was always advised that in physical therapy, if it's just, you know, a dull type pain, then go slow and be careful. But if it's a sharp type, you know, kind of piercing pain, like, whoa, like stop, like at once. But for me to be able to move from a straight flexion standpoint, and I have a little lag here in the knee joint, it would be nice to have it like my left leg that I could go out completely straight with. Boom, straight. So there's a little lag in this knee joint. So I want to lift it out straight, but I have a little lag down. I would love to be able to have that interior side of the quad bring my lower part of the leg with a nice foot up type position. Not your foot dangling this way, but a foot up position to bring that up. But I can't quite get it there because of the weakness in my interior quad. I know Leslie Vincent knows about that. So I think as we do these videos moving forward, the biggest thing as athletes or any of us that have gone through this type of injury is flexion. Extension as well, yes. Flexion meaning here, extension meaning here. I think for me is functional flexion and then athletic flexion. So functional flexion meaning can I be walking down the street and step over a curb? You know, even if I have a little lip when I get in the shower, and if I try to lift my leg over that lip, I'm like, whoa, I have to call my wife and like, hey, I need you to kind of make sure I don't slip on my left foot when I'm lifting up my right to get in the shower, and the ledge is only like this tall. So functionality is everything. To be able to lift and go, to lift and step, like on stairs, lift and step, lift and step. So right now when I go upstairs, it's like one step up, left foot, another step up, another foot, another step up, another foot. Whereas we want to traverse stairs like this, boom, 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 and just walk all the way up. But now it's like, okay, let me put my left foot up, I'll drag my right foot up, let me put my left foot up again, I'll drag my right foot up again. We want to be able to just do Stairmaster, like boom, 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 boom. And especially as an athlete, you know, athletes, we see stairs and we're like, let's go, let's get to stairs. Like there's the elevator, like no way, we're not gonna take an elevator, let's get to stairs, you know? Leslie Vincent, I get you. You want to take the stairs. Briney, you want to take the stairs. I want to take the stairs. But it sucks for us to take the stairs because we're crawling up the stairs like boom, 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 whack. But ultimately, flexion for me is everything. 6 weeks post-op, I'm at 90, 95 degrees, maybe 100. You know, I don't want to exaggerate because this is seriousness here, devastating type injury, but I want to say I'm at 95 degrees. It's harder for me to do it on my back as a heel slide. So if my butt is on a table, this is my butt table. If my butt is on the table and I have to inch my knees up on my own, then my quadriceps so weak I can't pull my lower leg up. But if I'm sitting in a chair and I let my leg dangle using gravity as the dangle, then I can let it dangle a long ways. But it's when I have to pull it back with my quadricep where it's quite painful and quite restricted. So anyway, that's where I am 6 weeks past. Again, I don't want to bore you with things like leg lifts because I can do these things like all day. Like I can put my leg out and I can just lift it like nonstop, like boom, boom, boom. I can go out like an angel, no problem. No problemas, you know, like nothing. Boom, boom, up, down, left, right. I can stand on it. I'll do some standing slow squats. Excuse the boniness of my right leg. But I can really get down. Boom. I'm putting a little bit more weight on the right leg, but I can really kind of get down. Put my shorts down. Boom. 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 So I can do this incessantly. but it's when I have to lift up the leg more like this, okay? Or transition here, here, here. I can start to feel it. Anyway, that's kind of where I am 6 weeks post-op. I have a bet out there with Leslie Vincent that he will beat me and my 2 oldest sons at a game of horse. Okay, HORSE, you remember, on the basketball court. Maybe some 21, but I think we might have to use crutches on the point and send both the boys down to the paint or the lower forward box, or maybe put one out on the wing and bring one in, kind of in the paint and just pass from our crutches. But nonetheless, I have a bet out with him that we will win that, and he's a Mississippi State guy, and he's not too far from us in the ALABAMA. What's up? Go Jaguars, by the way. And then also briny up there in Iowa. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with you yet in Iowa. It's cold. My knee can't handle too much cold. I got to be 49 degrees last night here in Alabama. That was pretty wicked cold for here. I did live in Vermont for a long time. I was raised in SoCal, Southern California, in the snow of the mountains, so I'm not a stranger to cold. But when cold hits, ruptured patellar tendon, it's rough. Anyway, that's it for today. 6 weeks post-op, that's where I'm at. Good news today, positive. Actually, before I was talking to Leslie Vincent, Mississippi State guy, I was less positive and probably would have gone another day without doing a video about this. But anyway, that's it. Take care. 6 weeks post-op, that's where we are with this. I will win in horse. I will win in 21 with the 2 boys and briny in Iowa. Stay warm. Keep doing the leg lifts. I look forward to your next leg note. Take care. Boom. Can't wait. Let's go. Stay strong. Keep fighting. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.